Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles. The man to your left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist. Don, we've got a lot to talk about. We had a week off, and there's a lot of news to cover right now. Folks, if you like what we do with the channel, please give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell for notifications to know when we're going live, so you know you get all this pro wrestling commentary goodness. Give us a ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. Thank you very much.
It was all a dream. I didn't have to watch any wrestling. That was a quick week. I didn't watch any wrestling except for Survivor Series. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, number one. Like, it's time now to gear up. Mariah Carey is officially thawed. She's singing her ass off. You can't miss her song if you tried. The trees are up. The wreaths are up. The festivities are in the air. I'm ready to rock and roll into the new year. Looking forward to some time off here at the end of the month. But I got to talk about Survivor Series out the gate because I like most of what WWE does. I like a lot of their shows. Monday Night Raw needed that. Needed Monday Night Raw to be as strong as it was. Because Survivor Series wasn't just a letdown. It was one of the worst Survivor Series build-ups and shows that they've put on the air in the past 10 years, I think. I felt like I was watching a bad replay of last year's Survivor Series in the men's match specifically, and the women's match when Io Sky once again dove off the top with a trash can. Figure some new shit out. I don't ever want to see this again. I don't ever want to have to sit through this again or have the build up again. Sit through that god-awful show. It just wasn't entertaining. The most entertaining thing to me, and crucify me if you want to, I don't care. Super chat's open. The John Cena match was by far the most entertaining part of that show. Not even close. It's not even close. Liv Morgan came out. Anybody who wants to doubt Liv Morgan's stardom in this company, watch that show. The fans went absolutely berserk because she plays the heel bitchtress so well. She plays the part. It's great. She smacked Dom. You thought she was turning, and then she didn't. And she Rochambeau'd Cena right there on the spot. It was great.
Yes, right in the huevos.
So, other than that, the men's match, they had a masked villain come flying in out of nowhere. Warrior SC, I'm going to get to that in a minute, trust me. The masked man comes flying in out of nowhere to make the save, kicks the shit out of all the faces, and gets the hell out of town. We both think we know who it is. Bottles, who do you think it is? We're the same guy.
Austin Theory. And he climbed that cage quick as a cat. So I give my man credit. He knew to get the hell in and get the hell out. Right? Absolutely. Very, very agile young man who ever climbed up there. You know, have you heard some of the weird theories? Someone's actually said,
well, hold on real quick. If it was Austin Theory, he's looking incredibly jacked underneath that sweatshirt.
Do you know some idiot posted on Twitter that it was Zoe Stark? Zoe Stark, who destroyed her, my hand to God. And he gave all his reasons why it's Zoe Stark.
Yeah, I'm not even going to give that any thought.
WWE's websites compiled a list of potential suspects of the identity of the masked man. And starting at the bottom,
is Austin Theory even listed at all?
Yes, he is. AJ Styles is number 8. Sami Zayn, possible. Number 7.
That guy was way too jacked for Sami Zayn.
Way too agile, too.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch.
What are we talking about here?
Ridiculous.
What are we talking about?
LA Knight.
No.
LA Knight's got trouble jumping to the top rope for that powerplex he does, let alone climbing a cage.
Like that. He's
John
too old
Cena.
to move like a cat.
John Cena. No.
Stop the nonsense.
Seth Rollins.
Stop.
No. Austin Theory's number 2. And the number 1 pick. Who do you think the number 1 pick is?
D's nuts.
No.
I don't know if it's not Austin Theory.
Randy Orton.
I could see that, but I got moved way too quick.
Way too quick to climb a cage from a guy who's just had a fused back.
They might do the shit that they did in WCW back in the day when they had somebody else come running out, and then they revealed it was Ric Flair in the end, and it never was Ric Flair. I could see that kind of turn. That would make sense, but that was not Randy Orton in that cage that night. That much I can guarantee.
Right. That was not Orton. That I guarantee you that was Austin Theory.
Yeah. I did want to talk about this real quick. HBK and Vinny.
The big rumor that was going around from Bret Hart. Bret Hart also mentioned the Ultimate Warrior. Vince was in love with the Ultimate Warrior, but it was unrequited.
He can't stop himself. He's on his book tour. If you all don't know, and I'm going to get to it, I'm going to get to it right here, Warrior. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat because you brought this up and I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Gentlemen, you're both wrong. It's Al Perez as the Black Scorpion. Exactly. See? Exactly.
Oh, yes.
So,
yes.
He's on his book tour. I've bought the book, by the way. He re-released it.
For God's sakes.
He re-released it as an audio book where he's reading it. And you can tell this was painful for him to put together. Yes, he's reading it. Like there's parts in it where you can tell he was really good that day when he was reading. His voice is strong. There's other days where it sounds like he's got that phlegm built up in his mouth and he's spitting all over the microphone and drooling like a dog.
Oh.
So he's going on this book tour and he's
Thank
just
you for
bringing
that
up.
vivid depiction, by the way.
You're welcome. I mean, I'm glad I can help you out here.
Sure.
He's going on this book tour and he's bringing up all the old memories again. This guy, Bret Hart, he cannot get the hell out of the past. He can't stop talking about the past. The bitterness this man has to this day is insane to me. Bret Hart likes to think he was one of the biggest superstars in wrestling to ever walk the face of the earth. He thinks he's on the level of a Ric Flair or a Hulk Hogan or even an Ultimate Warrior, right? He was a better wrestler than all of them. I will agree.
Yes. For execution of moves, yes. But
yes.
Charisma-wise, no.
No. He had about a 15-month run in WWF where he was on fire, where he was a face in Canada and a heel in America, and that was the best gimmick he ever had. Re-listening, however you want to put it, to his book, the shit he says in here is comical. Now, I'm not going to say that Hulk Hogan's run at the end when Bret Hart started coming on, he wasn't done, right? The fans were done of the same shtick. I get that. But Bret Hart says, if it's my fans against Hulk Hogan's fans, you know what? My fans are going to win out. Bret, what the fuck are you talking about, pal? They're fans of the wrestling business. They like you. You were a big face at the time. You gave them something different. Hogan had quit doing roids, was half the size that he was, and it just wasn't the same. Wrestling had to change. And by the way, they called him the $600,000 champion? Because as long as he held the belt, he didn't give a shit about the money. That was the other part about this whole thing. So in rereading this book, I'm telling you, every Bret Hart stop he does right now is, I was at a house show and Shawn Michaels came in on a spaceship. This is no lie. This happened. And I watched Vince McMahon get over in the spaceship. They took off and started doing it in the air. I saw it happen. I saw Bill Goldberg push a handicapped kid down a ramp and laugh about it while Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash were beating up a hobo in the alley. I saw it happen. He'll say anything to get this reaction, man. That's all he's doing. He's working everybody as much as he can.
He's had his bell rung one too many times, I think. That's what it is. Plus, he's a very, very bitter man who was a mark for himself when he was in the business. Big time mark for himself. Dude, I've watched his matches back in the day, and it was the same goddamn moves. When it wasn't a big match, just a match on TV, a so-called exhibition match on TV, it was the same moves all the time. Whipped into the turnbuckle, chest first, hold your chest. The guy tries to schoolboy you, you kick out. You run to the top turnbuckle, drop that shitty elbow off while the guy's laying flat on his back. It's just the same moves all the time. And sharpshooter, done. That's it. But what do you think about was it the hobo that Motorhead ran over? Yes.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. For those of you that have been here long enough, there's a story about that. Go back in the archives. The day Motorhead ran over a hobo in San Francisco.
The Motorhead didn't finish the hobo off all the way, so Hulk had to take care of it.
Hulk and Nash came out and said, we got this, brother.
Yes.
You get back in that truck and keep delivering.
It's just crazy, man. It's just crazy.
He's out of his mind.
He is, but I will tell you, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago when the story first popped out, that there was a rumor going around all through the locker rooms, all through WCW and WWF at the time, that Vince and Shawn Michaels had a more than employer employee relationship. They had a romantic interlude.
See, but I think that's just guys being jealous and petty as shit because he had his ear. Kevin Nash also had Vince McMahon's ear. Were they having secret affairs? I mean, you can't tell me on one hand he's slamming Sonny all around the arena behind everybody's back while his boys watch the door, and then he's running down the hallway and him and Vince are having a secret love affair as well. The two don't jive, pal. That doesn't jive.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, pal.
Thank you.
It's a hell of a drug. But I will say that was even mentioned in the Wrestling Observer back in the 80s when this rumor started popping out that the late 80s, early 90s, that Shawn and Vince had a friendly relationship, if you will. And
so the same guy that Vince fired like the first night he was there in that 80s.
Basically.
Oh, God. And it's like that guy Nails.
The Scott Hall interview.
He touched my penis.
He held him up by his neck against the wall. And this was
He's a soft tissue toucher.
A soft tissue toucher. Here we go. We're off to the races. We're off to the races. The whole clique was in Vince's office one day. This is a Scott Hall interview, which you can see on YouTube. You pull it up, where they're talking about women, they're talking about men, and Vince goes, "Let me tell you about my first homosexual experience."
I've heard about that, yeah.
And they all went like this, "What?" And he went into details back when he was a kid.
But from what I heard, it wasn't exactly an experience as much as I'm not going to get into it, but it wasn't mutual from what I've read. So that's all I'm going to leave it at that. But Again, Bret Hart just running around, running his mouth. He can't stop himself. He's an angry, angry Canadian. Just an angry. He's up there freezing his ass off right now. Madder than hell. I don't get it. Just enjoy your life, Bret. I don't understand. And by the way, also in the book, he talks about the different generations of wrestlers. He was like, well, that was Hulk Hogan's generation. He was 4 years older than you, you cuck. Literally, you're the same generation, you moron.
Right.
You were the WWF 1 year after he was. What the hell are you talking about, Bret? He was off and running. It took you 6 years to get noticed other than a tag team guy.
Dude, a lot of these guys from back in the day can't even balance a checkbook nowadays because they can't concentrate. They can't think straight. And this guy's writing autobiographies and trying to read them and books on tape. It's just...
it's some shit, pal.
Dude, you got to sell books. You got to sell books. As Eric Bischoff once said, he even named a book after it, controversy creates cash.
I agree.
And that's what Bret Hart is doing right now. He's stirring the shit pot.
By the way, AEW last week did 519,000 viewers, I believe it was. That's what the number came in, which kind of surprised me. I'm going to be brutally honest.
I thought it was lower than that.
Yeah, it was like 519, I think.
What was the big war? What was the big blood and guts? What was that, 6?
That was 6.
Okay, so they dropped down to 519, yeah.
So okay. I just want to say 512, thank you very much. I just want to say this. If it's Thanksgiving Eve and you're watching wrestling versus hanging out with your family, having a few drinks, hanging out with your friends, I don't know what to tell you, pal. I didn't turn on the TV other than to watch some holiday movies with the kids and the wife. So each their own, I guess, pal.
You could have been watching AEW instead of hanging out with your family and friends and stalking Don Wayne on Twitter.
I do want to cover Raw real quick, and I just want to cover the highest point of Raw. Mm-hmm. Braun Breaker's promo, the dude's a star. Braun's a star. Absolutely. They finally let him have his mic time. I believe that they've had to push him out front a lot faster because of the injury to Seth Rollins. I think this was very much, light speed lit. Get him out there. Let's see if this guy can sink or swim. He's not just swimming, pal. He is he's Michael Phelps of the freaking gold medal race right now.
Absolutely.
He's lapping bitches. That promo he cut felt real. It felt authentic. And he's got to be the front runner now to win the Royal Rumble, right? He has to be.
I would think so.
Because I can't see them putting... Go ahead.
He is wrestling Punk for the belt the first week of January.
I can't see that, though. Can you?
Well, Meltzer says it's going to be WrestleMania. Main event.
It would make the most sense for it to be there. It would. That's just my opinion. That's sort of where my head's at. It makes the most sense for them to crown their new champion.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also see where it's like Netflix has got us on a big contract here. Let's give them something to talk about. I can see it both ways.
Are we done with Survivor Series now? We're going into the Raw because
done,
Survivor Series was, for my money, absolutely horrendous. The most boring freaking show. It was 2 hours of wrestling and an hour of commercials. It was a half hour of commercials and shots of the outside of the arena.
Well, 4 matches did not help.
No, 4 matches didn't help. And from, what was it, the Bella match to the main event, there was a half hour gap full of commercials and shots of the outside of the arena and shots of the inside of the arena. And
Shotzi Blackheart.
And Shotzi Blackheart. just the shits. And people say online, well, you're not paying for it.
What?
They said that we're not paying for it. It's part of a streaming service. You're not paying extra, like you're not paying $50 to watch a pay-per-view. What? I don't understand why these pay-per-views, these PLEs with WWE, we can't be 4 hours. If they're going to have an hour of commercials, give us 3 hours of wrestling.
Well, I will agree with you there. It was way too many commercials in this thing. And you saw where your boy decided to pop off again, saying that, what's his name? Freddie Prinze Jr. has popped off again and said, my source inside ESPN said they're very unhappy with the contract that they signed and they're not getting the return. Freddie Prinze Jr. has about as much inside information in the industry as my neighbor does. He doesn't know shit about it. No top executive from ESPN is calling Freddie Prinze Jr. to say, you should leak this on your podcast. I'm sure all the neckbeards will love it.
Freddie
no
Prinze
one's listening to this guy.
He was a writer.
He was.
And back around 2010, he was a writer because he loved wrestling that much. He answered the ad that was online, I think at LinkedIn, and he got the job. And he was also teaching promo classes because he was an actor. Vince realized that. So I told Vince, who's this Prinze kid?
You know who else was a writer back in the 90s? Vince Russo.
Yes.
Where's that guy today?
He's playing cards with 2 painted-faced men dressed like clowns. Yes. Freddie Prinze Jr. is famous for one thing. Being Freddie Prinze Jr. That's all he's famous for. Yes.
So that shit, I took that with a grain of salt and said, okay, we're moving on from whatever the hell that guy said. However, Nick Khan had something to say about Brock Lesnar that's going to piss off all the pearl-clutching weirdos. Did you see this comment?
No, I didn't see this. This is new.
As you know, when he walks into a room, he looks and usually is the baddest dude on the planet. And that's what he looks like, and that's his personification. By the way, he's a gem to work with. So easy. So as long as he sort of knows things in advance, there's no issues. We're honored to have him back. I'm so happy he's here. So all of you pearl-clutching weirdos that live on the internet that are just convinced he's the worst person ever, he might have some weird fetishes. People are like that, pal. There was an ex-football coach in the NFL that was into feet, and it was the weirdest shit you ever saw. My man loved feet. He
Your
talked
boy
about
Rex
his
Ryan.
wife's feet. Yes.
The great Rex Ryan. He was a foot man.
He was. But
you know what I heard about Rex? Know what Rex Ryan said about Survivor Series? He said it knocked its socks off.
Oh, boy. Put them back on, you mean?
Put them back on.
Brock Lesnar is a once-in-a-lifetime cause to watch wrestling. And he looked, I will say this much about Survivor Series about him. He looked like $1 million. He's in the best shape I've seen him in 10 years. He was jacked out of his mind. I don't know if he was injecting the horse tranquilizers directly into his abs or not, but he was out of his gourd.
Horse tranquilizers, horse tranquilizers.
Horse steroids, tranquilizers.
Horse steroids,
Steven, whatever.
Tranquilizers, for God's sake.
My man was jacked out of his dome, dude. Jacked out of his dome.
He was. And I tell you what, his face got red as shit. Throw those guys around.
Yeah.
I said, don't have a stroke in the middle of the ring, Brock. Don't have a stroke.
The one thing I like about Brock is he's a regular guy. When he gets to move into that ring and all them bright lights, my man is sweating like a whore in church every time. It's just ripping off of his ass. Absolutely.
Leave a nice oil slick right there in the middle of the ring. People were.
It really does.
Absolutely. I mean, one of the referees was swimming in a pool of his sweat. That's how thick it was in the ring. But if you look at that whole show, the Cena match, like you said, was the high point. the Stephanie Vacker and Nikki Bella match.
Bad. That wasn't terrible.
It didn't need to be on the show. It should have been on Raw.
I agree with that sentiment for sure.
There were matches on Raw that should have been on that show.
The Gunther match should have been on that show.
Should have been on a show. And that the AJ, well, they call him AJ Lee, the AJ Styles and Dragon Lee match against the New Day, that should have been on that show. That was a great match. I agree. My God, that was good.
It sort of felt like they knew they dropped the ball on Survivor Series. They're like, we have got to book the shit out of Raw this week. No doubt about it. Because next week, next Saturday, man, that's it for John Cena. His time is gone and it's over. Yeah, and I know that's going to be a big hit. Hold on, before you get to the Cena story, I know you want to. Khan also said this about the mid-carders and no, the real Nick Khan. The
real Khan. The only Khan in wrestling.
He said, so it's meritocracy. He's talking about mid-carders getting paid versus the top guys. If you make it to the top and you're marketable, you get paid. That's how any job should be. Your job, my job, any job. Mm-hmm. Similarly in WWE, if you're Roman Reigns, if you're Brock Lesnar, if you're Cody Rhodes, all the guys at the top of their game, CM Punk, they're getting rich. They're getting rich, right? They should get rich. If you're in the middle, you're not getting rich, but you have a really good life. Guess what that's called, folks? The real world.
The real world.
The top performers of any industry get paid the most money. This isn't a charity event. And I'm tired of the neckbeards on Ron. Who's going to get a payday? Not everybody should be getting paid in these companies. That's how life works. It's the real world too. That's why after a certain amount of time, you are required to retire at a lot of these companies in the real world.
I like it when they say, LA Knight's getting buried. They're burying LA Knight. He gets paid the same amount of money if he jobs out or if he wins a match.
Right.
Okay? He's got plenty of merch because people are buying it. When they stop buying the merch, you may see one LA Knight t-shirt on shop.com, WWEshop.com. That's it. One. But he's selling merchandise, and that's why he's in the position he's in right now, because he gets a reaction from the crowd, and he's selling merchandise, plus the fact that he can wrestle a great match.
Agreed.
He's actually stepped up his game. Nobody's getting buried when they make the same amount of money from week to week.
I'm just tired of the, we're so lucky to have all these wrestling companies so these guys can get paid. Not all these guys I watch on these lower tiered cards should be getting paychecks. They should be paying the owner to actually be on the television show. I should pay you because I'm so uninteresting.
Right. And then that also, the guys that they want, the IWC wants to be gainfully employed in these major companies. We want Cross. We want Cross. We want Cross. Whatever happened to that movement? Whatever happened to that movement?
No one cares.
He's wallowing in the indies right now is what he's doing. He's wallowing in the indies, hoping that some company will pay him what he thinks he's worth on the indie circuit.
TNA, here I come.
He could be. He could be. So. He won't go to AEW.
You got a story on John Cena that I want you to follow up on because we were talking about Mr. Cena in his last match.
Here we go. A new federal lawsuit filed on Tuesday accuses WWE, TKO, John Cena, and others of using an unlicensed sample to create Cena's The Time Is Now theme song. Think about the horns now. Think about the
horns. Unlicensed.
Think about the horns, okay? The lawsuit claims that the horn-driven intro and outro were copied from a 1974 cover recording arranged by the late Pete Schofield. The complaint was submitted by Schofield's daughter, Kim Schofield, who says she now owns the copyrights to the record and the music she says is an original arrangement. The case may hinge on whether those horn sections are protectable elements of the Schofield arrangement or an unlicensed derivative work.
Again, this is all happy horse shit. This is somebody trying to get paid.
Right.
This happened 50 years ago.
The old man died, and I got all his rights in his he left me all his works that he copyrighted, and now we're going through everything with a fine-tooth comb to see what he wrote that might be being used without our permission. So this is the only thing they've got.
But they don't have to have your permission if it's not copyrighted. You can hear anything anywhere and borrow it. It happens in music all the time. As long as I don't directly rip you off and it was copyrighted and published under a copyright. This wasn't copyrighted. So what the hell are we talking about here? This is just somebody trying to get paid is all this is.
That's all it is.
I hate lawyers, Bottles. I hate them.
Well,
I just can't stand them.
They might just give her $100,000 to go away.
God.
That's it. What about the guy who had the Yeet shirt? Remember that guy, independent wrestler?
Yeah.
He was selling Yeet shirts. He got paid to go away, and he went away.
I guarantee you he didn't pay as much as people think.
No,
I would guarantee
they probably floated him $25,000. Here you go, pal. See you later.
If that. We're not getting tied up in court over this bullshit for the next 5 years.
Exactly.
Your girl Bailey was in the news this week, popping off.
Oh yeah,
some shit she can't stand in wrestling anymore.
Oh yeah.
She said she is tired.
It's not the good old days anymore, pal, where they stay for the whole show.
She said, I'm tired of these young wrestlers bailing as soon as their opportunity is over with and not watching the rest of the show to see how you're supposed to perform and pick up on the nuances of the veterans. And she talked about, once again, citing John Cena, who said he stayed there to watch everything even after his angle was over with. Same thing with Roman Reigns. And Bailey, she's right. This is why so many of these talents today aren't progressing faster than they are, because they're not watching how you get over. They're not watching how to work. They're not watching how to cut a promo. They're not watching to see what falls flat, what goes well. How did they get there?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. And Seth Rollins even said that there are guys there in the locker room are happy making $250,000 a year and don't really care about, that's a paycheck to them.
Right.
They don't really care about their lot in life. They're getting paid $250,000 every year, and they're happy with that. They get a little merchandise that they're selling. They're fine with that. And then they'll never make it up to the upper echelon because people in management see that they really don't care. And
you're just here for
low
a
output.
So, okay, I'm going to use you for that. And when you don't get the push you were hoping for, don't say shit. By the way, you like the tree? The tree's up, the ree's up. I'm happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Your tree's very beautiful in the background. I sees it.
It's right back there, pal. Yeah, I think.
For anybody that's been watching,
what?
You got dogs? What?
I think there might be a dog peeing with it right now.
Might be. For anybody that's been watching Natalya on the independent scene right now, who is a WWE person, she is still signed with them.
Yes.
They apparently the team within WWE is very happy with this character she has developed, and want to make her a very big part of the run next year in the WWE. They want to make her part of the main stage again.
Well,
I'm curious how that's going to work out.
Remember the beginning of this year, or was it? No, the beginning of summer. We talked about on the show that they had an idea for a tag team, a female tag team called the Dungeon Dolls. And that would have been Natalya Neidhart and Maxine Dupree. And now you're seeing the building blocks for it right now because of that promo they did Monday night on Raw.
Right.
Black and white, Natalya's beating the hell out of Maxine. Maxine says, what did she say, more, or let's go at the end of it?
I can't remember.
I forgot what she said, but
it's been 3 nights.
Yeah.
Been 3 day dog.
3 dog night. Yes.
Yeah. I also wanted to talk about Darby Allin's ass because it finally happened. Well, he's out now. He's out. It finally happened. We said it would. I'm just glad the kid's not dead. Mm-hmm. But apparently in the show we missed last night, he was in a match with
last week.
Night guy.
It was last week.
Wednesday, I believe. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, sorry, last week.
Yeah.
He was on a match with the Night guy from the Jet Speed duo.
Kevin.
And apparently he got rocked in this thing from a drop kick from across the way. Like a coast to coast drop kick. Apparently jacked his ass up to where now they don't know if he can wrestle the rest of this tournament.
Oh, that's too bad. Next.
Stop being an idiot.
You talking to me?
No. I'm just talking about
Darby.
If you want to have a long career, if you want to actually have an impact in this business, you have got to stop that dumb shit. I'm just saying, dude. Like, it's just awful at this point in time. I feel bad for the guy, but once again, you did it to yourself. You did it to yourself.
I don't feel bad for him at all. Look what he's done to himself every single match. Every single match he's got to go, and it's got to be a stunt show. He's got to be the evil
Coffin drop off the top.
Boom. Right through the stage. Right.
So it is what it is. But the big news this week is obviously TNA has signed a television rights deal with
AMC.
AMC, yes.
$30 million a year.
30 to 35 is what I've read. So it's very similar to NXT's deal, which makes you wonder. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to check this out because when it starts, it's going to be on Thursday nights at 9:00. I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to see what this is all about. I'm going to give them a look because anybody that watches this show swears by it. Don, You got to watch this more. You got to watch this more. I don't have the channel because no one has the channel it's on, an Axis. No one has this shit. No one. So this thing is apparently going to be available in like 400 million homes or 200 million homes or some crazy ass number. Like it is triple and quadruple the amount of homes that it's going to be available in.
Here's the
okay.
I got the old numbers from TNA's history from when they were on TV. The Spike TV in 2014, the average show on Spike TV got 415,000 views. TNA got 1,000,008 views. So they were way above the average. Destination America, the average show got 228,000 views. TNA got 330,000 views. Pop TV, remember that when they were on Pop TV? Jesus, God almighty. The average show got 179,000 views. TNA got 310.
So they always did more than what the average show on that network that they went to did.
But always outkicked their coverage. AXS, Axis TV, good. 26,000 views is what the average show gets. TNA got 90,000. New Japan Pro Wrestling, when they were on Axis TV.
I did watch it then. I was watching it then. I said, I'm going to try to give this a chance. That's when Jim Ross was calling it. I tried to watch it. I was like, this shit just ain't for me. I can't.
No.
And apparently it wasn't for the crowd either.
No, it got about 60,000 views. New Japan did. Then it dwindled down to nothing, and that's why they're no longer on Axis TV.
You are looking live from the Tokyo Dome.
The CW average, the average show on the CW gets 445,000 views. So NXT is still in flux. They go anywhere from the mid 550 to 700,000 on the average. Big spread there.
So the real question is,
how
does this affect AEW in the long run? Because Tony Khan has really had his pick of the litter when it came to independent wrestlers that he liked that maybe the WWE didn't, and old WWE heads that were leaving and going there to get their last big payday. And I'm not saying you're going to get a big payday if you go to TNA. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying a guy like, I don't know, Chris Jericho would be a pretty good fit there versus, because I'm just going to tell you, I keep hearing they want to do, the talking heads keep saying, well, the belief is that WWE has a retirement tour planned for Chris Jericho. I don't want to see Chris Jericho on a retirement tour. I want to see him have a last Mania match, his Hall of Fame entry, and go off into the night, my good friend. I don't want to see Chris Jericho in some elongated John Cena type send-off. In my opinion, he's not on that level. I don't have Chris Jericho in my top 20 wrestlers of all time. Deal with it.
No. One other point I'm going to put out, going back to the AMC TNA deal. AMC's average program is 370,000 viewers. 370. So TNA, if they outdo that, they could do 500,000.
Thank you, mister, for watching. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button. Hit the ring-a-ling on the ding-a-ling. The super chat's open. You got something to say. I am looking forward to seeing what this show does. I'm looking forward to see what kind of cross promotion they do. I don't think we're done seeing the cross promotion with WWE and TNA, quite frankly.
No, you're not.
I don't think this ends it. I don't think it ends it.
No. There's going to be NXT people coming in that first month of TNA. They're going to be all over the show. I would be surprised if they take people from the main roster WWE and drop one or two in. What about AJ Styles? I'd like to see AJ
Styles. I could see AJ Styles. I could see because of his history there. That would make sense. But I don't think this hurts WWE at all. I think this is absolutely going to hurt AEW in the long run.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He is a nervous wreck about all this. I'm telling you. Tony Khan is a nervous wreck about all this. So is Meltzer. Meltzer's on the big apology tour, the big excuse tour. Only thing I've been saying is Colonel Reb is crying.
Right now, Larry gave us a couple bucks. He's been so happy this week. Congratulations, LSU stole Ole Miss's coach. So it's a big deal in the SEC right now. LSU is dancing on the grave of Ole Miss's playoff hopes. So the SEC is brutal, but TNA, I got high hopes for. I'm hoping this might be something different. I'm hoping.
Well, they've got an influx of cash coming in.
They got a lot of cash coming in now.
A lot of cash coming in.
And again, don't be stupid and sign these guys to long-term deals for like $1 million. Here's $5,000 for a month for 2 shows. We'll pay your expenses. We'll see you there, Chris. Stuff like that is all they need.
Right.
Because I think Chris Jericho's earned his last. I just don't want to see him have a long run in WWE, pal. I just don't. I'm out of the Chris Jericho business for good. I'm out.
If he came into TNA, spent a month or 2 there, moved his way over to NXT, spent some time there, moved to WWE, SmackDown maybe, give a little star power injection to SmackDown. God knows they need it. I could see them working something out.
But look at how long he's been gone, Bottles. He's been gone for so long. This isn't even the same fan base he'd be coming back to.
I understand that completely, but they are aware of him because of his presence in AEW, for good or bad. So
see, and we've had this discussion. I don't think nearly the amount of fans we used to think watch AEW that are WB fans are watching. I think they bailed. Of course not.
They bailed out, man. Of course they did.
I'd say maybe a quarter of that audience are also WWE fans. Maybe.
Remember when they were doing, Don, remember we were doing 800,000, 750,000? Yeah. We said 250,000 people in that mix are WWE fans. Now those people have been drained out.
Gone. I'm out. I don't want to see this anymore.
That's right. The empty bag is just 350 to 400,000 AEW fans. They're not even what kills me is the people who watch, the AEW fans who watch Dynamite, don't even support Collision. Collision did what the other day? 285,000. That's what Collision did. Which deserves it because that show's horrible. I don't know, Don.
I just know that the last couple of years with Jericho. Can you hear me? Am I breaking up or are you breaking up?
I don't know. I can hear you fine.
Okay. I don't want to see Chris Jericho on a long run. I just don't. I don't think he has it anymore. The learning tree was the last straw. I don't want to learn shit else from this guy. I don't want to see shit else from this guy long-term booking-wise. I want him to have his send-off. I think he's earned that. Other than that, I don't want it to go anywhere else. Just get the hell away from me. I just don't want to see it.
The only thing the sad thing about the learning tree gimmick was the waste of Big Bill.
Huge waste.
Huge waste of Big Bill. If he ever gets freed up from AEW, what I can't understand is why have they signed Enzo Amore? I would throw an armored car of money at Enzo Amore to time.
We've talked about
I know we have, but I'll belabor the point. I don't understand why they won't do it.
Why do you belabor the point? You know he's a fucking asshole to deal with. Why would you want to bring him in?
An entertaining tag team.
He's
an entertaining tag team.
Ass. No, he's not.
They may have learned a lesson. They may have learned a lesson. The lead flamethrower Fluff Salisbury with a 5 spot. Wait, the lead singer of Fozzy is a wrestler? So they say.
That's what I heard. Read it on a bathroom stall.
Yes.
For a good time, call Fozzy, a.k.a. Chrissy. Look, they were a flash in the pan. I get it. Enzo Amore had a quick 2-year run. There's a reason no one has signed him, Bottles. There's a reason.
You think he's radioactive?
He is a walking meltdown waiting to happen. He is a lawsuit pending. He is nothing that you need in your company.
I think he's
going to get you sued. He's
good on the mic. He's an idea man. He's good on the mic. I could say it, but how many guys have we seen that were good on a mic and entertaining that got flushed down the crapper because they just couldn't get their shit together? I'm going to tell you right now.
It's endless.
I'm going to tell you right now, if Big Bill gets freed up by TNA, but not by TNA, by AEW, I think that Triple H will not hesitate to sign him and Enzo Amore back to the WWE to reform that tag team. It's a license to print money.
You're higher than a giraffe's ass. You're so high. Enzo Amore has no shot of ever getting back in the WWE.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No shot. No shot.
He's got a better shot of getting back in the WWE than Ric Flair. Have you heard what Ric Flair said about Hogan?
God knows.
He said that Hulk Hogan passed away because the pain pills that he was taking for the infection in his neck and the neck surgery, the doctors cut him off. And he had to resort to getting street drugs from dealers for his pain that he was in.
I don't believe shit Ric Flair says, man.
Well, his wife, not
He's
Flair's
running
wife,
around calling people Egyptians in small pizza pots.
And shitting his pants while he's planking in bars.
Yes. Thank you, Flimmer. Thank you,
yes.
Flamethrower.
So,
I
Sky
believe
Hogan,
everything Rick says about as far as I can throw it.
Hulk's widow shit all over that theory for Ric Flair. So Ric Flair had a post on Twitter. Okay, Sky, I got bad information according to you. I should never mention it. I've known Hogan since 1979. Let's just move past this and concentrate on his legacy, period. End of story. Let's preserve his legacy rather than dwell on any negative energy.
Why bring it up, Ricky? Why even bring it up?
To keep his name alive.
Yes, that's exactly.
To keep Ric Flair's name alive. That's why he does these things. That's why he mentions this shit. And he even said in an interview with, I forgot who it was. It doesn't matter what website or podcast it was. He said that he called Hogan while Hogan was in the hospital. And Sky Hogan said, I was in the hospital the whole time with Terry. He never called. Flair never called Hogan. So there you go.
Black Larry says the Egyptian is the masked man.
The Egyptian is the masked person. The Egyptian. Oh my God. Who could Mustafa Ali? It's Mustafa Ali, the Egyptian. That's his new gimmick. The Egyptian.
It could be.
God. It could be.
I'm looking forward to seeing TNA. I'm looking forward to this whole new endeavor. What I didn't look
Tony
forward
Khan's
to,
not.
He's not.
He's not. If you were Tony Khan, you're Tony Khan, you Don Wayne in Stately Wayne Manor in the ranting room, you're Tony Khan. What would you do to combat TNA?
I don't know that you can. I don't know that you've got to hire a booker. We've said it a million times. Hire a wrestling mind. Get your shit together. Stop having 400 tournaments. They're doing another tournament for another belt that apparently doesn't matter. Didn't they just unite all this shit a month, 2 weeks, 2 months, 3 months ago?
Don, he just said he's finally closing the gap on WWE in a very meaningful way this year.
That's what I heard. So fucking whatever.
There's a lot of people whose contracts are coming up in TNA.
Like who?
And the best way, if I was Tony Khan, I would try to sign those people. I mean, he throws money around at just the worst of the worst. Satnam Singh is still getting a paycheck. Jeff Jarrett's still getting a paycheck.
Why is Jeff Jarrett still getting a paycheck?
He does pre-shows for pay-per-views. That's all he does. He stands there with what's her name? Renee Baguette and RJ City. It does pre-shows. It's ridiculous.
I don't know what you're going. Look, man, I don't know that TK can do anything right now at this point in time. This show we're about to talk about is a prime example why, and I'm going to get into it now. They had 3,300. We had 3,380 people at this show this week, so that's a good crowd for AEW. I didn't see what size the building was. I don't think it was a very big building. Raw had 9,100 people there, so
not a big building for them. 9,100. No.
It wasn't particularly huge, but again, they know they're in the holiday season, and if you look at how they've booked this thing out, they're not going to a lot of huge venues outside of Saturday night's main event. They know it's a holiday season. Get us in and out of these buildings where we can have a full house and move on until the new year when we break out the brand new Raw and people got money to spend again. There's a new champ in AEW. That's been established.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They went with a guy
Samoa
who actually
Joe,
a ratings draw.
Samoa Joe is the guy. He's the new guy again, and I've already seen it online. The AEW neckbeards are already fantasy booking this guy's downfall. Seriously.
How are they doing that?
They're already like, okay, so here's what we do. We have the trash man beat him at next week's Winter is Coming, and then MJF comes back, and then he beats him at World's End, and that's how we start the new year. I've seen it left, right, and central. So this thing starts off with Tony Schiavone in the frickin' ring. He talks about Winter's Coming is next week. You and I talked about that earlier.
Right.
And out comes Eddie Stingston. And this guy's coming out with Samoa Joe. He's got everybody's apparently barred from ringside next week is the stipulation they said. Joe says he's out to get him. He's out to get out of his ring before this is what Samoa Joe said. Sorry.
To Schiavone. To Schiavone.
Schiavone, Samoa Joe says, get out of this ring before I snatch that rug off your head.
He obviously watches the show.
Dude! If you're new here, Bottles has been saying for months Tony Schiavone is rocking a whip. That's what he's been saying.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Rocking that wig.
Yes,
and he very well may after that came out. So these two guys have this, I don't know, this weird sort of thing going on in the ring. The trash man has on a Trash Panda shirt, so he's feeding into all of this. He says he's not going to be able to finish him. Then Eddie says if Joe sold out is essentially with this game. It just ran weirdly by each other. I don't know what this was supposed to be. You're telling me this is sort of what Eddie was trying to say because it kept running back and forth. Eddie was trying to say Samoa Joe sold out, I guess, because he came out in a suit last week. This week he came out in a t-shirt, and you're still saying that he sold. I don't know how did he sell out? What am I missing here? He's not kissing ass.
They're trying to manufacture a reason why Eddie Kingston should be the number one contender for the AEW Heavyweight Championship and take it from Samoa Joe. It's ridiculous. The guy broke his leg. He's been gone for a year. He came back and wrestled 2 matches with Hook as his tag team partner, and now he deserves a shot. He beat the Workhorseman. The Workhorseman. Have you seen the Workhorseman?
Yes, I have.
Yes, they look like Eddie Kingston.
Yes.
Fat and out of shape. Eddie Kingston, don't get me wrong, Eddie Kingston is serviceable on the mic. He can cut some great promos when he's enthused about it.
Or when he has a good direction. This isn't a good direction.
No.
You're telling me Samoa Joe is now the corporate champion? Come on, dude. They went back to the room and said, this is a great idea. Let's go with this. With this god-awful idea that Samoa Joe is now a jet-flying dude. He's got the private jet, because they brought that up too. He flew in on his private jet.
Come on, man. Him and Shibata, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Hulk flew in on his private jet. Sure he did. Sure. It's not even believable, okay? It's not even believable.
No, it's horse shit.
Right. Eddie Kingston flew in on his taco truck. Good Lord Almighty. I mean, look, it comes a time when a guy has to say, maybe I'm not cut out for this, okay, with the wrestling business. Maybe I should just be a manager. Because he doesn't want to work out.
Good at that.
He doesn't want to work out. Of course, doesn't want to do anything. I would make Eddie Kingston a babyface manager with a babyface stable and go up against the Don Callis family. That's what I do. Get everybody who can't talk who's a babyface and stack them up behind. Yes, stack them up behind Eddie Kingston. That's what they should do right there. If he's got to wrestle a match, let him come in like MVP and wrestle a match once in a while, once in a blue moon.
I'd love to see those two guys go at it. That'd be fun. He'd have Eddie blown up within 2 minutes. Die.
Absolutely. Because he just can't, man. Eddie can't.
Eddie Kingston's big line of this thing was, now I'm not going to sit here in the middle of this ring. I'm going to go back to my hotel room and take a nap or go to sleep. That's your go home line? I'm going to go to sleep now? I went to sleep watching this shit.
They got nothing else, pal. Who else is going to challenge? What? How come Hangman Page hasn't exercised his rematch clause if they, in kayfabe? in the kayfabe world of wrestling. How come he hasn't exercised his rematch clause to get his belt back on the next show?
No, he's hanging out with the losers in the back.
He wants to fight Hook. He wants to fight Hook.
Dumb. I know.
They're going to have a match between Hangman Page and Hook.
That'll put butts in seats. They've got the Continental Classic. They announced there's going to be 3 matches tonight. Again, I'm going to ask you, didn't they combine the Continental Classic belt with this other belt to give the belt now that Okada has? Didn't they all have this huge merging of the belts?
Yes.
Did I miss something?
Yes. I guess. I don't know. You probably got up. You probably, like myself, you probably went to the bathroom and went up and got a sandwich. And that explanation was rifled out by Excalibur in 30 seconds. And you just missed it.
I missed last week's show, gleefully, might I add, and I came back to this show this week, and I don't know what the fuck's going on with these belts. I don't have a clue what the championships mean anymore. All I know is there's a... And by the way, they said the women's world title tournament is still going on. I thought this was done a week ago. I thought this was over.
The tag? The women's tag titles? No, it's still going on.
Oh, my God.
We're coming up on the semifinals right now.
End this already. End this. Then we get the ops segment in the back, and Hook actually cut a Steve Austin-esque promo. I tip my hat to him for that. I'm just bullshitting. That thing was awful. That thing was garbage.
I heard on YouTube the other promo they cut for AEW.com. And the promo he cut for AEW.com made sense. And Alicia Atut, MJF's wife, was sitting there. Atut! She was sitting there talking to Hook about it. And you mean to tell me? Blah, 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 blah. That's right. And, I brought in the Powerhouse Hobbs. He took my place because I picked him. If you would have put on TV what they recorded for AEW.com, it would have been 1,000 times better than what was actually on the show. But no one's paying attention to anything. There's no continuity. But
someone get this kid a fucking hairbrush because you look utterly ridiculous. It's all over the place. It looks like he's got bedhead. I don't know what look he's going for here.
Sideshow
but
Bob.
It ain't working, dog.
That's what he's going for. It ain't
working. My God in heaven. Pac versus Okada, which is the unified championship, which I said, didn't this combine the Continental Classic belt? What the hell is happening here?
I don't even... What? Why isn't the Continental Classic a bunch of guys wrestling to see who at the very end wins the whole thing and takes on the champion who's got the Continental Classic belt, which is Okada? Why is Okada wrestling in the tournament? Why isn't he the final boss in this whole tournament where, okay, you got the shot, you're going to wrestle Okada. And that's it. It's over with after that.
But that's what happened last year, right? The winner got a shot at Okada, correct?
No, Okada was in the tournament. And he won the belt. Yes. He was.
Okay.
Yeah, he won it last year.
Okay.
Kenny had the belt last year, didn't he? Going into that tournament?
I think Okada had it and Kenny won the tournament and got a shot at him.
I think it's the other way around.
I can't remember because it's so convoluted. None of it makes any sense anymore.
Exactly. Tournament after tournament after tournament after tournament. And because it's like, I hate to take a page from another podcast. I use the terminology of another podcast, Don. It's lazy booking.
Well, I get that.
Because you don't know how. You don't know how. Don't know how to format a show. You don't have to book.
This thing, by the way, was a slow-paced match. They didn't try to do 100,000 things, which I can congratulate for that. But I don't think they did because I don't think Okada can do that kind of match anymore. I think those matches are gone from him. However, they did give a superplex on the top rope. And I don't understand what's going on in AEW, but they called it a brain buster. And I'm putting this down for a reason because it happened again later. I don't think modern commenters know what a brain buster is supposed to look like. Right. And if you want to see what a brain buster is supposed to look like, Tully Blanchard in the 80s gave the greatest looking brain buster I've ever seen in my life to this day, to where it literally looked like he dropped the guy square on his dome.
Right. Absolutely.
This did not look anything like a brain buster. I don't know why we're going with this. Okada wins at the last minute roll up after he gets the clothesline from hell and apparently could just no sold the shit. So I don't know what this was supposed to be. Mark Briscoe with the new TNT title, which it looks like a sharp title. I'll give him credit where it's due.
Yeah,
calls out Danny Garcia, and they're going to face off at Winter is Coming. So we get that to look forward to.
Why is the champ calling out people?
I said the same thing.
All the champs in this company call people out. Why can't they just be a happy champ to carry their belt and someone comes after them, chases after them? It's about the chase. It's not about the champion picking his opponents. Because if I was a champion of any kind of belt in AEW, I'd be picking out Jack Perry, Marco Stunt if he was still there.
Dildo Baggins.
Yes. I'd be picking out Evil Uno, the guys who don't win matches at all.
It gets worse from here. Ricochet, who is the new national champion. So,
the national champion.
Damn it, dude. How many fucking titles are in this company? There's
more titles in WWE. There's more titles in WWE. You got NXT, you got WWE, you got AAA, you got all those titles. You got Evolve, you got all them. Yeah.
But what does the national title represent?
Who knows? It's their version of the U.S. title, I would assume. I guess.
Why would they call it the TV title? That would make more sense.
The TV title is
because it's a TNT TV title.
The TNT title is the TV title. The TBS title.
The TBS title.
That's the title for the women. The TV title for the women.
Ricochet says he's gonna face off against Dalton Castle Friday at Ring of Honor.
Who won would have see that?
Wait a minute. How is Ring of Honor? Is it a pay-per-view for them? What am I missing here this Friday for Ring of Honor? Did I miss the memo on this?
It's a pay-per-view. Ring of Honor pay-per-view this Friday. Yeah. Put her up against SmackDown.
Oi!
Did he?
Got my finger stuck in me bum.
Finger Shay.
Then he says he's going to have a match Saturday on Collision. I don't understand what's happening right now at this point in the show last night. I wrote down, I'm confused as hell. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea what's happening. No idea.
When this came up, I said, I got that Cologuard test I haven't taken yet. So I went in the bathroom and took the Cologuard test. I'd rather do something like that than watch Ricochet cut a promo on my TV.
Renee Baguette is now with Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy and that entire group.
Who would want to see that?
The whole thing was childish humor. Strong says he's not part of the conglomeration and he's going to beat OC's ass. So he's not part of the conglomeration, but he's in every interview they do. He's in every segment they do. He's in every
promo.
video they do.
The video they do.
Yes.
I will say one thing about Roderick Strong. I do like Roderick Strong because he can wrestle his ass off, dude. That guy could go an hour on TV.
I don't dislike him, but in this bullshit-ass storyline, none of this makes any sense.
That's all they got. That's all they got. That's all. I'd rather watch Roderick Strong take on Samoa Joe for the title than Eddie Kingston. I'd rather see that match. I dare say it, Don. I'd rather see Orange Cassidy wrestle Samoa Joe.
No, you stop me. Stop.
Would you rather see Eddie Kingston or Samoa Joe or Orange Cassidy wrestle Samoa Joe?
I'd rather watch the garbage man wrestle because I know at least I'm going to laugh at the nonsense.
I didn't mean to piss you off, Don. Relax. Calm down.
Kyle Fletcher versus
when this is over with, Don, walk outside, piss on your neighbor's house, kick your dog. Take it easy.
Jeff, I'm coming. Kyle Fletcher versus Kevin Knight. And I wrote down, this isn't terrible. These are two guys with size. They could do some athletic moves. But Knight has been ruined being paired off with the Karate Kid. That's what ruined him for me in this company. I can't get behind anything with this guy. I just can't.
If they kept the two apart and dissolved the tag team and gave him a bit of a push, they might be able to go somewhere. Luigi Tron, 5-1 for $5. If I was AEW champ, I'd call out Mina Shirakawa, Harley Cameron, Julia Hart, Braun, Penny's Mesh. Yes, fellas, including me. That in a weird, demented way, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. It looks like Luigi Tron's got Harley in a headlock. Oh, it looks like he's got a roll of quarters in his pocket. You sure about that, Tony? This is the greatest night in the history of our sport. Look at Luigi Tron go. A man of his size.
He's motorboating the shit out of her.
And where does he find panties to fit?
I don't understand why they put this Kevin Knight guy with the speed freak dude.
They didn't know what to do with
8-ball Mike Bailey.
They didn't know what to do with either one of them.
It's the worst pairing ever. One of them looks like a real athlete. The other one looks like a complete joke. And it's ruined Kevin Knight as far as I'm concerned. It just has.
Like Stokely Hathaway said, he looks like Billy Ray Cyrus with an autoimmune problem.
Now, the one thing I did have about this was, again, another brain buster that wasn't a brain buster. Why? Why do you keep calling brain busters when they're just suplexes?
It's the greatest move ever. Look at him go.
Don Callis is in the ring. Gives Kyle the microphone. Have we not said this for
Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle. You didn't see. You haven't. You got to say it. Who's in the ring?
Kyle.
There you go. That's what I want to hear.
Kyle's in the ring with Don Callis. He gives him the microphone after a match. We've been saying this for months. Stop having guys try to cut promos after they just had a match. They're out of breath.
I'd like to tell everybody right now what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my belt back from Mark Briscoe. That guy's horrible. He's horrible in the microphone. You got Don Callis there, who you can't shut up. Let him talk for Kyle Fletcher, for God's sakes. Let him talk for all these guys.
This is where it gets good. They give the shit back to Don Callis, the microphone. Yes. And they go to commercial, and Don Callis is trying to get them to the commercial break, but they completely missed the cue. And as it goes off, you see, and you're going to hear what Kyle Fletcher has, and it goes to commercial.
Because they don't know how to format a TV show. That's what it is.
Denisha says, Don and Balls, did you guys hear Anna Jay's contract is up? She might be going to NXT. She hasn't been doing any Dynamite. I have heard that, actually.
Yes.
I am glad you brought that up. That is a big point of contention, is that she's not just possibly going, he's going. Like, this is a done deal. Yeah, that's done.
Yeah, it's done. If she's not on TV, it's a done deal. Because look what happened with Blake Monroe, Mariah May. She's seeing what Blake Monroe's doing over there. You think those two don't talk? You think because people left AEW and they go to NXT or WWE, they don't talk to the people that are in AEW?
Right, exactly.
Of course they do.
Exactly.
Of course they do.
So she's going to go. She's probably going to have the same outcome, probably be a bigger star within a month.
And learn how to wrestle.
Be a household. Yeah, learn how to wrestle, actually know how to cut promos, figure this whole thing out just like the rest of them have.
Good-looking girl, Don. Good-looking girl.
Yeah. Easy on the eyes. And now we come back from commercial, and Don Callis says he can't forgive the Young Bucks for siding with Kenny. And out come the Bucks, because apparently he says, we got your money. They clear the ring, and then the Callis family comes out. They beat them up. And then out comes Jack Perry of the Brontosaurus and fat-ass Mark Davis, and he beats up Jungle Boy. And nothing changes.
That's what I'm looking for right there. Fat-ass Mark Davis.
And nothing changes. Kenny Omega comes out looking pale as shit in a sweatshirt and calls out the Callis family, who then leaves. I don't understand what's going on. No, he didn't
look good at all, pal. He doesn't look good. Every time we've seen him, he doesn't look good. Oh, his body really got jacked up from diverticulitis. Well, when he came back from diverticulitis surgery, he was wrestling like the old Kenny Omega.
All those bumps, you only have so many bumps in your bump card.
That's right. And I think Kenny Omega has a... if I was a wrestler, like I'm going to say this as safely as I can, Don. If I was a wrestler like Kenny Omega with a lot of, he had some health problems, had surgery, been around for a long time, wrestling a long time, and wrestlers like that, sometimes they develop a problem with substances to get to work out through the pain.
I agree. It happens all the time, and he hasn't looked right. And I hope it's not substances. That's all I can say. I hope it's not. We get the women's tag team next. Out comes Megan Bayne, who looks like a star, will be a star, and she's teaming with Footloose to take on Tits McGee and Tony Storm.
Is that the new name for Marina Shafir?
I'm going with Footloose.
Fucking Footloose.
Get on board.
Oh, my God. Fucking Footloose.
If you're gonna wear your shoes to the ring and then take them off, I'm sorry, you are officially Footloose.
Oh shit.
We get barbed wire candy canes in this match. Marina Shafir, Footloose, blades herself. She's coming out with champagne bottles. She's bleeding. Tits McGee is doing whatever. I don't know what she's screaming about. Santa helps and Tony Storm wins.
She said,
"Me love you long time."
That's what she said.
Oh, they won.
And you know what? They're trying to make Marina Shafir the female John Moxley.
They are.
I'm telling you, that's what they're going to do. They're going to make her the female Moxley. They got to do something with it. I will say one thing. I watched that match. If I was a female wrestler in AEW, I would not take a single move from Marina Shafir that involved my head and neck. Not at all. She looked sloppy. She looked horrible.
Stiff.
Accidentally stiff.
That snap over was way too stiff.
Way too stiff. Good Lord Almighty, dude. I would not take any moves from her whatsoever.
Well, you know what the problem is that we don't know her.
We don't know her at all. You think you know.
The Dork Order is back, and I just wrote why. Why is the Dork Order back? Why are these guys on my team? Hangman says, I won't interfere, but when it's over, I'm totally getting hooked. This guy was the champion 3 weeks ago.
And he was the champion during some of the worst ratings AEW ever had. So now there's just the solution is to bury him in a sub-mid-card feud with Hook, have the Dark Order involved. The Dark Order has nothing. They bring nothing to the fucking table, dude. Nothing whatsoever. Why even put these guys back on TV?
I don't get it either, man. I don't get it.
Neither do I.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know why they would do this. I don't know why you'd put them back on TV after all this time. They have no business being here. They have no business being here.
What they do is the guys in the Dark Order do a lot behind the scenes, like with the ring and the sets and things like that, and doing promotions, and I don't know. It's just
I can't sometimes.
I just can't understand what they're doing.
Renee Baguette is with Monet, who says she's going to defend her worthless Ring of Honor belt on Friday that no one gives a shit about. FTR versus the Bang Bang Lame Gang recap. Stokely segment, FTR talks, somebody gets shot. The Ops comes out. How could you take Hook seriously with anything he does? I don't understand anything that we're doing here. The Dork Order comes out. No one cares. No one cares. No one.
Where's Kyle O'Reilly? Oh, Glenn Taylor, 1834 with a 20 spot. Thank you, Glenn. Great way to end a Thursday night. Great show, Don and Balls. I totally agree. The Dark Order is sleep-inducing booking. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. I thank you very much for the 20 spot. I don't understand what I'm watching here.
Think about when
I don't understand what are they trying to accomplish, number one?
Think about the Dark Order was a huge part of AEW programming when it first started. They were always on TV. It was like 20 guys in the Dark Order would come out and just rush the ring and beat the shit out of people. And then they said, this is pretty bad. We're going to take them off. Let's see the Dark Order go up against the Hurt Syndicate.
No, I want to see the Dark Order go up against the McDonald's cashier and see if they can beat his ass for real. Send the little one out first.
The cashier, the Grimace, and the Hamburglar can all take on the Dark Order. They're all cartoon characters.
And then after this, I think we got Claudio Castagnoli versus Jon Moxley. And I wrote down, why do we get faction versus faction in this thing? Because we've already had it once. Right?
You mean people within the faction facing each other?
Yeah, within their own faction. It doesn't make any sense.
It's part of the Continental Classic. It's all part of the Continental Classic. This is the way the chips fell. And Claudio beat Moxley. And Moxley in a match that had nothing going for it whatsoever, wasn't a pay-per-view match, bled like a stuck pig. I watched that match, and it was just horrendous. But good for Claudio. He's the new CMLL champion, by the way. Have you heard that story?
I have not really.
Yes, he beat the CMLL champion this past weekend. He's the new
Moxley
champ,
or
CMLL. Claudio.
Good for him.
Talk about pissing on one of your partners. Another company being pissed on.
Listen to me. I've got a guy with no charisma, but he can speak Spanish. What do you think? Your new champion.
Who do you have, Mr. Tony? Claudio Cannoli. Oh, that sounds good.
It's terrible.
It's really going to bolster your promotion down there in CMLL. Who wouldn't want to see Claudio Cannoli in your main events at CMLL? All those crazy Mexicans would. Oh,
I don't know. Look, Moxley and the Cracker Clan has been on my last nerve for months. This shit's not going anywhere as far as I'm concerned. It's not entertaining. It's the same match out of Moxley every time. He rolls out of the ring. They rattle some shit around. They get back in the ring. They chop each other. He stands nose to nose with the guy. Did I cover the match so far?
Yes, you did.
He hits a DDT that kicks out. He hits a pile driver that gets kicked out. All the shit that should go home doesn't go home. Who bled in this match? I am almost positive somebody bled.
Moxley did. Moxley bled like a stuck pig.
Every time. When left to his own devices, this is who he is. He's a backyard, dirt strangling, wannabe wrestler.
Yeah.
That's why the WWE, when he was there, they had to control him so much. And eventually they're like, go away. Like, go. Just go.
I remember he was going to wrestle Brock Lesnar at a pay-per-view. And he said, well, let's do this and, set the table on fire. We're going to do it. Wait, what? What? Get away from me. Get away from me. And he went back and told Vince, listen, whatever this kid says, Ambrose, I'm not doing any of that shit.
Why should I? I'm 6'4", 290 pounds, and cover the grounds I walks on. I'm not doing any of this shit.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't understand what this guy's entire appeal is to a certain fan base, other than the fact that they like to hurt themselves. Like, these are the same guys in the corner of their parents' basement, slobbering all over themselves. It's just a weird identity to have. It's the same people that like watching women cut each other open. It's insanely absurd.
This show now isn't for the average casual wrestling fan anymore. It's for a niche group of wrestling fans that like what you just said. People bleeding, people cutting themselves open, women abusing themselves, falling through tables full of light tubes, broken glass,
right?
Just flamethrowers. What's next? Pull out a gun, chainsaws.
That's got to be
like
the next thing, because we've already done the flamethrower movement. It's got to be a gun next. That's all that's left.
Right.
Is a live execution.
Hanging, a guillotine. We're having a guillotine match today.
And let fat ass Mark Briscoe be the guy that takes it.
This is the greatest night in the history of our sport.
Watch
I remember in Crockett, we would bring in guillotines, but
matter of fact,
Jim wouldn't let us do it.
Put that rug on his head out of its misery. Put that out of its misery.
Dude, I wish that man would just go away. I wish he would just take a backstage role and stay back there. They're smart enough to keep Jim Ross, a Grey Goose-addled maniac, off the air. Bring him back to call a one match or two, and that's it. Pay him $1 million a year because you feel sorry for him. Tony Schiavone should just take a backstage role. He hates everybody. He hates everybody in professional wrestling that made fun of him or wronged him in the past.
Oh, yeah.
You know that.
Everything was a slight. Everything was a
slight with Shivani. So
he's still mad because the one thing he wanted to do when he was in WWE was the Coliseum home videos.
Right.
And Vince didn't like his voice on that, so he pulled him off of that. And then he didn't like him on his TV show. He said, "You're just not going to work here. You're just not going to work here."
Then he went back to WCW. And I'm surprised he's still in good graces with Tony in AEW because his girl Britt Baker's being in purgatory. She's in Guantanamo Bay right now.
Never to be seen at all.
Never to be seen at all. Let that contract right out until everybody forgets about Britt Baker. And then when the contract finally expires, she'll be in
and she
WWE.
shows up on WWE NXT and watch the neckbeards freak out.
Absolutely. And she'll be a star.
It is what it is.
She'll be a household name there because she's got charisma. She can cut a mean girl promo. In the ring, she's a little suspect.
Just don't let Satchel ass get near her face and she'll be okay.
That's right. That's right. I do like I do like Baker in that respect with the promos and all that and the controversy that she brings with her. I could see her being paired up with Charlotte Flair as a tag team. I think that would mesh well.
I don't know where you go with your AEW from here. I know TNA is really about to change the landscape of the professional wrestling business. We now have wrestling available in most homes Monday through Friday for the first time in my lifetime. I've never seen it this readily available. There was a time where you got it Monday, Saturday, and Sunday, and that was about it. That was about the only time you got wrestling. It has become this weird niche audience, but if you can get their attention, if you can get their fandom, they will support you for a very long time through the good and the bad. And the truth is, once you become a wrestling fan, you don't just give it up completely, I don't think, if you're ever a really hardcore wrestling fan. You keep up with it through whatever dirt sheet you have or Bleacher Report or whatever your source is. But I don't think you really ever leave it. I watched TNA in like the early 2000s, early 2010s. I was watching then. I saw the aces and eights. I remember all of those things.
Yeah.
I saw Scott Steiner break down on a math test. I've seen all that shit happen. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I really am. I'm looking forward to see if Tony Khan, come the new year, can change the direction of this flailing federation he has with 400 titles that mean nothing and Monet coming out with titles that are absolutely meaningless and this weird dichotomy of championship central television where having a championship essentially means nothing. It really does.
It does. Think about how she's fallen off. Just think about it. Mercedes Moné, a household name when she was in WWE. One of the four horsewomen. Now, you think about how all those matches that she was in WWE were so great because she was in there with the likes of Charlotte, Bayley,
girls
Becky
that
Lynch,
could wrestle,
Asuka, girls that could wrestle. Now she's with girls who can barely wrestle in AEW, and the matches suck. And she knows it. That's why she wants us to wrestle, as they call them, the Joshi wrestlers, the female Japanese wrestlers on the promotions. She's instrumental in bringing them in to do jobs for her. Yeah.
That's all the news and notes I got today. Thank you again, Glenn. Appreciate your support, brother. Appreciate all your support.
Yes.
Like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button.
Please do.
I know one guy that didn't watch that shit show last night, and he was happy to not watch it.
Hang on a second. Before you go anywhere, I got to ask you this question. Where's this guy been?
I better use my strong hand.
Where's he been? Our boy Kyle O'Reilly.
Where is Kyle O'Reilly?
He got the push of his life. He got the push of his life. He tapped out Moxley twice. He tapped out Moxley at their last pay-per-view. And now he's just
And now he's
gone.
off television. Just go.
He's off television.
You know what?
What's that?
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.